How I've never had one of these things in my life, I do not know, but in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about my latest purchase, this 6.2 litre V8 naturally aspirated 2012 C63 AMG. See, I quite like filming here because, you know, there's lots of space, there's not many people around, it's all nice and peaceful. Yeah, it's just a nice place to film, but the problem is, in the background here, we have little horses, yeah? You see the little horses there? And over here, guys, we've got a C63 AMG, and generally in a video, I like to show people the sound of a car. And this car is probably the best sounding car in existence. Like, these things sound absolutely amazing, but to experiment or demonstrate, should I say, the sound of this car right here in this position with these little horses in the background, I just don't think it's a wise idea. So what I'll do is I'll quickly cut to a sound scene of this car. Yeah, it's crazy, man, absolutely crazy. And I think on that note, let's hop under the bonnet. Let's just show you what this car's looking like under the bonnet. It's abnormal, really. BMW's competitor. Where's the bonnet latch? Where is it? There it is. There we go. BMW's competitor at the time was obviously the M3, and in 2012 the M3 also had a naturally aspirated V8 engine. That was a 4 litre V8, yeah? What was the other one? The RS4, that was a 4.2 litre V8 naturally aspirated engine, but Mercedes chose to put a 6.2 litre engine under the bonnet. Apparently there's some history to the 6.3, by the way, because it's not actually a 6.3, it's 6.2, which is a bit controversial, but we don't care about that. 6.2 or 6.3, there's a big V8 under the bonnet. It's about 450 odd brake horsepower, and the car weighs 1,600 kilos, or a bit, just a touch more than that, so it ain't a very heavy car. It's not too big either, a nice body shape. One thing that I've always criticised about these cars is, and I'll be honest, it's put me off ever buying one, is it's got flat rear arches. Like, look at that, man. You never really see that on definitely not on this nature of car. For the price point, it was at £56,000 when they were new, and it kind of put me off ever buying one. It's got arches on the front, nice big chunky arches. Of course, that's easy for Mercedes to replace the arches on the front because they're just bolt-on wings, but the rear quarters, they're a bit more work, as I know, or as you lot also know, with the build that I'm doing on the E46 Touring. So that was a bit of an off-put. I call them diesel arches, hashtag diesel arches, because they are literally the arches of a diesel car. As you come around the back, you've got quad exhaust at the bottom, and rather fancy looking diffuser at the bottom there as well, and the sound, as it's sitting here, I just want to give it a little rev, but I can't. It's a black on black car. I love that look. Black wheels, black body, black badges, and then on the inside we've got black interior. So it is a facelift car. They've done a nice job of the facelift, as with any facelift in the world. You're better off buying a facelift, but obviously you pay a bit of a premium for it. So I think they changed the steering wheel, modernised the dashboard a little bit, upgraded just a few little touches, the headlights and so on, right? It's a fresher looking car, it's a nice thing. And then another little feature they added on the drive modes is a Sports Plus option, which does, well, I don't know what it does, to be honest with you. I haven't spent much time with this car because I bought it a couple of days ago. I've been driving another car which I don't think you lot would have seen yet. We'll talk about that in a coming video, probably the next video. So I actually haven't spent enough time with it to completely warrant my opinion on it, but so far I absolutely love this car. I am not joking, I am in love with it. It is a beast of a car. They were offered as a saloon, a coupe, and an Avant, or an estate, or whatever you want to call it. Obviously, you know, I love an estate, so I'd be curious to get an estate one in my life, just as a toy, get that on the bucket list. But I think what we need to do now is jump in it and go for a little drive. Right, so before we head off, we've got all these little different driving modes down here. I don't know what they all mean. I'm guessing comfort, sport, sport plus, manual, and then race start. I'm guessing that's a launch control. We don't need to use that right now because we're going to scare horses. We don't want to scare horses. I've been driving it in manual, but to be honest with you, this car, it's like it's constantly in beast mode. So all of this aside, you pretty much don't need to worry about this. I just have it in manual, paddles behind the steering wheel. It's a 7-speed ZF gearbox, so it's a bit slow. It definitely does feel a little bit dated, throwing that out there, but you know what? You ain't gonna worry about that. If you've never driven one of these, you're gonna have an experience of your life during this video. Did you hear that? It just lights up. We've got traction in sport modes, so I guess that's kind of like an MTM. And yeah, it's just letting the wheels light up basically. So going back to the gearbox. Again, it's probably something that kind of put me off not ever buying one, just I wasn't too drawn to them because it's got a bit of apparently a sluggish gearbox, right? Apparently really reliable. Again, I didn't spend a lot of time in this car. I haven't done a lot of research on it. I don't know loads about it. I was just so excited about doing this video. I just thought, you know what, I'm going to jump in it and just do the video today on my journey to work. But when you drive it, any downfalls that this car might have, they all go out the bloody window because this engine is, like I said earlier, it is the most savage engine ever made. And everything I've ever said about this C63 AMG, like the arches, in fairness, like in defence to me, the M3 of this era has got 4 wide arch. I know I talk about arches a lot, but if you're going to go all out, go to town with a car, you've got to have a fat body car, yeah? You do not nick the arches off your diesel car. The M3's got arches. The RS4, notorious, like they've always got bloody wide arches. Shout out to Audi. Mercedes on the other hand didn't do it, and then on the later cars they've done the same, but they did make a coupe. Yeah, the later C63 S AMG. There's a tree on the floor there. Yeah, what's going on there? The saloon has no wide arches, but then the coupe does, and the coupe looks absolutely savage, like it looks wonderful because of it. So that's the back end. Cyclist, saving the world. There's me in my 6.2 litre petrol guzzling beast of a car. Yeah, they do look better, but anyway, all of that aside, I don't care. I've got a nice little bulge on the bonnet. I don't know if that's a diesel bonnet, I ain't got a clue. I have to wait for the Land Rover to pass. There's a post box there, that's convenient, didn't you know that? So, but anything that might have put me off buying one of these previously has, yeah, completely now been disregarded because I've driven one journey in this car, and I am never ever getting bored of that engine sound. I can't imagine anyone that's ever owned one of these cars, like, if you've owned one of these cars and you've sold it, every other car going forward must just feel so disappointing in comparison. Like the sound of this car, we're battling for traction. That's the back end there. But it ain't putting power down too badly. There is a bit of controversy about the diff on this car. I've not fully understood what the crack is with the diff yet. Again, because I've driven one journey in it, and I should have pulled out in front of that Astra and I didn't. Silly me. But it seems to do what it should. Seems to do what it should around bends. If anything, it's a bit too much. Let's just click my fingers to get past this one. Yeah, see you later, Mr. Astra. 1650 kilos, 450 brake horsepower, had more power than the competitors. Listen to them downshifts. I'm sure this whole video is just going to be focused on the sound of this car. Like, tuning wise, yeah, I suppose you're a little bit limited because it is just a naturally aspirated engine. You can't sort of up the boost or nothing like that. There is no turbo, there is no supercharger. But in fairness, again, it's very rare that I'll drive a car and feel like it doesn't need tuning. This car is on point in stock form, believe me. The interior, it's all very nice. Obviously it's a 2012 car, and it is just a facelifted version of an older car, so it is all very nice, it's all good, and spec options that were available were all adequate and very much what I would have wanted anyway, so it's not lacking nothing at all. These seats, guys, these seats are just, yeah, not just visually with a little cheeky little AMG badge in the headrest, but comfort wise as well. Hell of a lot of adjustments. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and get a shot of the switches on the side of the seats there. You've got like bolster adjustment, back adjustment, all them sorts of stuff that you'd want if you're going to spend £56,000 on your brand new AMG, which weren't that bad really, was it? Adjustments on the door there for the seat, which obviously you're not really too bothered about because all you care about is hearing that engine. Let's just, once again, as we drive through the wonderful village of Woburn, there's a Mini Cooper convertible thing, coupe. Bought one of them the other day. Change the subject. I'll be honest with you, right? I'm barely touching that. I wouldn't say barely. I would say I'm about 60 or 70% on the throttle pedal there. I know we're on a damp day today, but yeah, I am not the biggest fan of naturally aspirated engines, but this engine just seems to do absolutely everything for me, and I don't feel like I want to be in anything else right now. That is Maya in front of a little yellow Corsa. I've just coincidentally joined the same journey as she has. On the interior, I feel like there could have been a little bit more. They could have done, maybe put like an AMG badge on the side there, or I don't know. There isn't much in here other than these wonderful seats, of course, telling me that I'm in an AMG. But you have got a little cheeky little 6.3 V8 logo just on the rev counter there. But I think you're getting the idea, guys. I am in love with this car. I am not in a rush. Look at that. That's a battle, man. It's a fucking battle. I'm not in a rush to sell it because I'm enjoying it so much. It's got a sunroof, it's got heated seats, it's comfortable. What else do you bloody want? And in Insta stories, like right now, if I was to show the world the crazy car that I'm driving, there's plenty. Feathering that throttle. So for social media it's a great laugh, for Calvin it's a great laugh, and for today's video, for those that haven't ever experienced a C63 AMG, you have done now, and I'm sure you thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm going to end it as that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're all alright, by the way. Happy New Year. It's a challenging time at the minute. It's a challenging time of life in general, but just keep positive, keep on it. I keep saying it all the time. Just keep doing whatever you can to keep busy and keep moving forward, alright? So yeah, thanks for watching. If you did like this video, do me a bloody favour, hit the like button, hit subscribe as well if you're new to my channel, and give me a follow on Instagram. It's all the usual stuff, innit? Subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff, and give me a follow on Instagram as well, at Calvin's Car Diary, alright? And I'll see you on my next video, Wednesday and Sunday at 6 o'clock for those that don't know, alright? 2 videos a week. See you later. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, I've bought another really interesting bit of stock. Find out what it is on Wednesday at 6 o'clock.